The woman, seeking revenge on her ex-husband, intentionally went to interview at her ex-husband's company. Ozan was stunned. The interviewer asked Aisha if she wanted to stay. Seeing Ozan shake his head, signaling her to leave, Aisha, however, got angry, stubbornly sat down. In an attempt to make Aisha give up, Ozan, who knew her well, deliberately asked her what she had done before. She answered that she had worked as a fashion consultant, which was just clearing out inventory. Ozan pressed her, asking who her clients were. She claimed to protect her client's privacy, so she refused to answer. The other interviewers were very satisfied with her response, and gave her high scores. Ozan, seeing this, asked her about her sales experience. Aisha said she had worked in resource integration and supply, which was actually promoting new products in a supermarket. Everyone highly appreciated her performance. After the interview, Ozan asked Aisha to meet him in the park. As soon as they met, they started arguing. Aisha said, "You're the one being unfair to me. I got into this company with my abilities. Why are you stopping me?" Ozan was speechless. "How dare you bring that up? Not a word on your resume is true." Seeing he couldn't convince her, Ozan said he would never let Aisha stay in the company. He turned to leave. Aisha stopped him. She asked how she could stay. "Do I have to kneel down?" Ozan thought this suggestion wasn't bad. Aisha tried several times but couldn't kneel down. Angrily, she yelled that he was despicable, using any means necessary. Ozan didn't bother to respond. Back at the office, the assistant brought in the interview rankings. Ozan was shocked to see that Aisha had the highest score. He angrily crumpled Aisha's resume and threw it in the trash, saying that he had a veto vote. On the other side, Ozan's mother, eager to show off, moved into a new house in the old neighborhood, right next to her former daughter-in-law, and now things were bound to get chaotic again. This mother-in-law is too domineering. When her daughter-in-law got married, she had to take the photos first. She pushed the bride aside. She also made Aisha help with the bags. She only sat in the passenger seat. When she saw Aisha take the seat first, she immediately pretended to faint. Aisha was speechless. She had no choice but to let her have the seat. Only then did she smile smugly. Now, this troublesome mother-in-law had moved next door. Aisha felt like her head was about to explode. Sure enough, when the mother-in-law saw Aisha, she immediately called her over. She pretended to ask about Aisha's well-being, but every gesture was meant to show off her wealth. After a few words, she started acting high and mighty. Aisha wasn't buying it. She shot back, "Seems like I'm the one who dumped your son. Look at all the life rings on your hands. Will they save you if you fall into the water?" After that, she walked away without looking back. Furious, the mother-in-law started cursing loudly. Back at home, she cried to her son. When Ozan heard his mother moved next to Aisha, he immediately couldn't sit still. He quickly hung up the phone and left the office. The car drove into a small alley. Looking at the familiar street scenes, Ozan felt like getting out and walking. He hadn't been back here in many years. This sad place. He passed by Aisha's door. Aisha's mother greeted him excitedly. Ozan subconsciously called her mom. This made his real mother furious. In a fit of rage, she climbed down from the balcony. She yelled at Aisha's mom, calling her shameless, saying she stole her child. A big fight was about to break out, scaring both families into action. Only then did they separate them. Ozan urged his mother to move away quickly. He would never live here again. Ozan's mom was determined to go her own way. She wanted to annoy Aisha's family. Seeing this, Ozan didn't say anything more. He was about to leave. No matter how his mother pretended to be sick, it was useless. As soon as he stepped outside, Aisha came over. She intentionally provoked Ozan. "You're just afraid of falling in love with me again. That's why you won't hire me." Ozan laughed. "You're really both ordinary and confident." Aisha looked at him seriously. "No one understands you better than I do. Prove it to me." Ozan thought it was ridiculous. Back at the office, he blew up. He vented to his assistant about Aisha, saying she thought I was afraid of her. "Bro, do I look like I'm afraid of her?" Yes. Ozan had never been so speechless. Could it really be that obvious? He went back to the office and fished the crumpled resume out of the trash. After thinking it over, he signed his name on it. The next day, Aisha received the job offer. She couldn't believe she was actually hired. She quickly asked her mom to slap her. Looks like this isn't a dream. On her first day at work, the two passed by in the hallway. When she saw the rich second generation Sina secretly flirt with her, Ozan smiled slightly. Aisha thought he was smiling at her, feeling quite pleased with herself. She didn't know what was coming her way. The CEO publicly admitted to having a thing with a junior employee, and begged for her forgiveness in front of everyone. Aisha was stunned. She never expected happiness to come so suddenly, but the next moment... "You really are a daydreamer, aren't you?" Ozan was just asking the team if they wanted to switch it up. Aisha was still cheerful, thrilled to have milk tea on her first day, but Ozan cut her off and told her to go buy it. Aisha didn't mind at all. "As if something like this could trip me up. 10 years of waitressing isn't for nothing. She arrived at the shop and handled it with ease, without missing a detail. She remembered everyone's taste and preference. "Boss, this is exactly what you asked for." The secretaries kept praising her non-stop. Seeing this, Ozan nitpicked again, saying he wanted his hot. She finally brought the hot milk tea, and just sat down, when Ozan hit her with professional questions. Her answers drew laughter from everyone. Thankfully Sena stepped in to help her out. After the meeting ended, Aisha was about to leave, but Ozan stopped her, and told her to take his clothes to the dry cleaner. To keep the job, Aisha had to swallow her frustration. She finally got the clothes back from cleaning, but the elevator was broken, so she carried them up 17 flights, only to find Ozan wasn't home. Aisha started looking around his place carefully, checking for any signs another woman had been there. The kitchen was untouched. Clearly he was still single. Right then, a crystal ball on the bookshelf caught her eye. She rushed over and gently held it in her hands, relieved to see it still intact. Memories came flooding back. It was the very first gift she gave Ozan. It wasn't expensive, but it cost her all she had. Ozan had promised to keep it forever, and he really did. Just then Ozan came home. Aisha quickly hid the crystal ball behind her back. Ozan asked what she was sneaking around with, so she handed it over, and asked why he still had it. Ozan said he simply forgot to throw it out. Aisha couldn't understand even if he admitted it. Did he really want to erase every memory they shared? Ozan told her to be quiet, and reminded her she was just an employee. She had no right to question his life. They parted on bad terms. That night Ozan's mom faked being sick again, and called him, claiming she might not have many days left. As she spoke, she played a pre-recorded ambulance sound. Ozan rushed over in a panic, only to find his mom perfectly fine and energetic, and already setting him up on a blind date. Aisha heard about the matchmaking through her brother, and couldn't sit still. She sneaked over to Ozan's place, to see for herself what was going on, ready to uncover the truth.